So guys, we're about to check out some brand new gameplay of Hogwarts Legacy. On a broom, open world, outside of Hogwarts itself. The map looks massive, massive. The more and more I see of this game, the more I want it. I want it big time. So let's check it out. There is some bad news about the release date. I will touch on that in the video if it doesn't mention it within the showcase. I still don't know, by the way, what house to go for. I don't know what to go. What are you going to go for? What should I go for in my videos? Let me know. I might ask a couple of YouTubers, because I don't want to have the same house as everyone else. Like Gryffindor. Or Slytherin's quite a predictable option, isn't it, as well? We'll see. Ooh. I can't wait for this game, man. I used to love the Harry Potter games back in the day, the old like PS2 games. And this just looks like a complete step up, this game. The more and more I see it, the more I want it. This is definitely the first game coming out next year that I really want. Yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Hogwarts Legacy Gameplay Showcase. I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and I'm honored to introduce you to our panel today. First up, we have community guest host, Ben Snow.
Oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much for having me.
And from the Avalanche team, we have game director Alan
She looks like she's actually from Hogwarts.
And systems designer Mackenzie Toner.
Hi.
And finally, just off-screen capturing
I don't know
gameplay
why.
for us, Andrew Coram.
I guess to play the game.
Today we'll be giving you a taste of the open world via broom flight, a deeper look at combat using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, and a look at your personalizable home within Hogwarts, the Room of Requirement, where we may even see some beasts.
Ooh.
And we're starting right where we left off in our last gameplay showcase, just outside Hogwarts, which I love that you can walk out of the castle after walking through everything and then just come out here and take off on your broom out into the open world.
It looks so
and
big
Alan,
as
I know
well.
that's something that you particularly like about Hogwarts Legacy too.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just being able to hop on the broom and go anywhere. There's something about kind of like the sensation of everything being open to you, and just I love the proximity that I can get to things. Cool. I love flying close to the ground, and I kind of wanted to talk about it just because I feel like
you can fly really close to the ground.
The brooms are fun for me, not just because of all those feelings of exhilaration, but because they're not just I have a broom and it's done. I actually kind of like some of the mechanics in it. So you see in the lower right, there's a meter there, and occasionally as Andrew's kind of flying up or flying down, you might notice it draining or not. And this isn't the present day where all the broom technology is well known and advanced and everything that we know and love. This is an earlier time where they're still trying to figure out, we're not at the 3000 yet, we're at the 11. So.
Oh my goodness, I'm just so speechless right now because this is just so beautiful. The world is so
incredibly
By the way,
beautiful indeed.
The broom,
look at
is
it.
that like the only one, or can you like upgrade that broom to go faster?
Yeah, so we have a shop in Hogsmeade, actually a broom shop, and so that sells a variety of different brooms.
Is that enemy
on
the map
that
there?
the player could customize themselves based on their own aesthetic. So they're purely cosmetic, but if you talk to the shopkeep and help him out, he'll actually sell upgrades.
Yeah, and those upgrades will make it so that where normally the broom, you can only fly, you can only go at max speed. It's kind of like a turbo meter down there. You can only go at max speed without the meter going down, kind of closer to the ground. And as you raise into the air,
why that is,
the meter
gets more
drop.
resistant.
And so those upgrades will allow you to increase that distance from the ground. And the broom owner
fly really low
at the sporting goods store in Hogsmeade is trying to perfect the broom and get better at it and know it better, and you can participate that and get better and better brooms through that.
I guess it makes a bit of sense.
And I love that mechanic encourages you to actually explore the world and kind of stay close to the ground. It's not just a travel mechanic, point A to point B. You're not just flying high over everything, although it is beautiful, something I really love doing, but as well, there's lots to explore on the ground, and so kind of keeping you down at the ground level.
And to me, it feels like it's got this kind of surfing vibe over the.
Oh my god! Like I'm just like I want to snatch the controller from Andrew right now because I want to go to the mountaintop, I'm going to that forest and to that hamlet, or
it's just so much bigger than I expected.
I think that's what it is.
I knew it'd be
awesome,
Hogwarts, of course,
but
I didn't realize it'd be this big.
I feel like
outside of Hogwarts, it's just madness. It looks so good as well.
Just because that's what we refer to it as, and so. We all know from lore that Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village within Britain, but we wanted other opportunities to kind of meet other characters out here and to kind of populate the landscape, so it's not just kind of barren as you leave out this direction and that direction. And so we just imagine these different dwellings, these different smaller locations that wizards might live in out in the Scottish Highlands. And so it's those, and so we refer to those as hamlets, and they're opportunities to learn those wizard stories, how those different locations have kind of like learned to live, what their relationships are with characters at Hogsmeade and Hogwarts. And so they're both quest opportunities out here and a chance to kind of get to know more of the area, even beyond Hogwarts and Hogsmeade that we've already experienced. And you'll also notice on the mini-map, like lots of little icons, and each one of those represent gameplay in the hamlets that you can participate in, whether it's a vendor or different puzzles and challenges or different secrets that exist. Each one of those icons are different opportunities for gameplay.
Just jump into this game
you'll
and start
notice
exploring.
that same thing as we venture out into the open world as well.
What are you selling?
When you go out into the open world and you see those icons, whether they're on the mini-map or on your map or off in the distance, those things are opportunities to say, like, I want to increase my inventory capacity. They're puzzles left behind by old wizards, that you can solve that actually grant you those. If you see ruins off in the distance and you visit them, you might find opportunities to
I like that
actually
jacket.
expand
It's
and
random,
learn about
but
your ancient magic.
where do you get that
And
jacket from?
As you kind
that
of
rock
encounter
in it?
different enemies
It
dotted
stands
on the
out.
landscape, sometimes those characters, poachers or dark wizards, might be hoarding different magical resources that are valuable to you as you're playing the game. So each one has kind of like a way to connect to our gameplay loops and provide different opportunities that just kind of reward you for poking around.
I mean, I right away want to just cover all of those points on the map just by going over there.
Well, we've flown on a broom already, but there is something that we haven't done so far, and that is getting on our flying mount. We're going to hop on our Onyx Hippogriff here. The Onyx Hippogriff is our pre-order bonus.
Oh my god, there he just like pops out of the the back. Oh, wait, you
Backpack.
can
It's
use
like,
it as
hey,
a horsey?
come
I mean,
on.
a horse?
What
I
the?
thought as a horse?
Yeah, as a hippogriff, you can totally ride it like a ground mount, and you can lift
What?
off into the air. And we tried to make sure that each of those interactions, so the broom's really good at reaching that top speed, at kind of traveling the world as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's really nice to get on the hippogriff because of that ground speed or those transitions. And sometimes it just feels amazing just to be riding around on a hippogriff.
Look at it.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. What's
it
with like the
really is
wings
kinda
like span out?
I don't know, it's a great feeling being on it, and it's a great
That's
feeling
cool.
managing those transitions, kind of going from run to fly and just being able to go wherever you want. And we tried to make sure that each one of these things that you can interact with have a unique identity and a reason for being.
And oh my god, like I see like different like areas, like a swampy
It is,
area.
it's
But like, can
darker.
you go to like entire map anywhere you go? Or there are regions that are like locked from you?
Yeah,
or,
as soon
like-
as you, there's kind of a moment where the world kind of opens up to you outside of Hogwarts as a student, and right from that moment, early on in the game, you can go wherever you want.
Wow.
And so you might find more difficult challenges in different areas, and you'll see different spots as Andrew's moving around, like you mentioned the swamp. But there, we have got like a coast, and we've got different types of environments out in the world just to kind of pepper your experience, reward you for exploring, keep things fresh. All those things exist as we're moving around.
So cool. And I love that windmill.
windmill.
It's like so.
It's moving actually as well.
rustic.
Like
I keep
one,
forgetting
what's
that
it? One
this
F-
is like
so one F-
1800s.
one FPS. Sorry, I can't
The Wizarding
speak.
World we've never really seen before. Like,
Like
it feels so
Nintendo.
authentic. Like it just
Actually goes around in
it's
circles.
part of it.
Yeah, I love this vista too, and I'm gonna have Andrew stop here. We're gonna use a bit of dev magic to
Ooh.
change the seasons. Actually, I want to see.
Oh man, they're gonna switch the season straight away.
Covered in snow.
Yes, 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 please. I love
Winter vibes, Christmas vibes. Oh.
Wrong wavy.
Enter in dev command. So you can't really see. It's like a sort of menu that normally pops up, normally within the game or in the top like left-hand corner.
Oh my goodness,
Damn.
this is so pretty. Okay, it looks so realistic. Oh my god, it changes the landscape like completely. Oh my god, does it have like actual like gameplay impact, like impact on the gameplay, or does it like it's just the weather of Scotland?
Yeah, we really use it as a narrative marker through the game. So
Okay.
as you're progressing through your main storyline, it was important for us
See
to
the
kind of
seasons
like
change
have those moments
as you
that
go through
kind
the
of
year, I
felt
guess.
like when you're reading the books or watching the movies, where you'll see kind of like the title card winter, and now the landscape has changed, and you're really feeling that passage of time while you're a student, going through your year at
Right.
Hogwarts. And I think we wanted to duplicate that. And for me, it's really fun that it's not just on the outside, which which I agree. I think it looked really beautiful. But within the school as well. So there are moments like when it reaches certain holidays or things like that, where Hogsmeade reacts to holidays and the school reacts to holidays, and you see the decorations around those environments change. That really helped just kind of make me feel like I'm there.
Right.
Yeah. And it's not just for the seasons, those kind of vibe things. Like we have a day-night cycle, and that day-night cycle, even though similarly, like it's largely about vibes.
Seems to
and
run
going to
fairly
Hogsmeade in
smooth
the
actually
evening,
as well.
there's
Not
less
noticed any sort of
characters
hitches or anything
around
like
the
that.
School, you'll notice it kind of dies down and quiets
Shooting the
down.
games obviously got
There's
way
just
out.
candlelight and students kind of
Look at
like, as you're
Hogwarts in the
walking through the
distance.
halls.
Ah.
But in that
That
day-night
view.
cycle is where we've kind of placed a few items where, whether or
Would be
not
nice
you
to have
can collect them,
a
whether or not you can
maybe a
interact
tiny
with
bit
them,
more snow,
that are
maybe.
a little bit
Is
restricted
that
by the day-night
is that
cycle.
fair? Tiny
And
bit more
I
snow.
love Andrew's flying up here, really high up on the hippogriff, and we're just looking at this view of Hogwarts
Incredible
in the distance.
view.
It's just absolutely beautiful. It's part of what I love most about flying around in this game, whether it's on a hippogriff or on the broom.
No, I mean, you talk about going anywhere and things that you can see in the distance, and that's one of my. I still can't get over, like, no matter, I played this so much, but I still can't get over the fact that I can see Hogwarts out there, and there's just something
incredible.
beautiful about knowing that all of
need
the
this
things
in my
inside of
life.
it, the classrooms, the students, the professors,
I need
all
it.
the places I can go, I can just fly my hippogriff, land in the courtyard, enter the front doors, and just walk, to the library, to class, or to greenhouse, or to my common room. That it's all contiguous and just kind of like one space is still exciting to me after all this.
I mean, I'm just I'm speechless right now. It's just absolutely
Taking it all in. So I
beautiful.
think I've seen enemies that
As much as we
come
want
up
to
as
spend
almost
a
like
lot
a
more
hard
time out
enemy.
here just
Like,
flying
maybe
around,
don't tackle this
experiencing
enemy
the
right now.
world,
And then some
I
that you
think
can
this is
tackle,
a
like a
great
wolf or something.
opportunity to switch over to combat. And last time we
Ooh,
gave you kind
combat.
of an intro to combat. This time we're going to really go a lot
bit
more of a
deeper.
deep dive on using the Dark Arts Battle Arena, which is part of our deluxe edition. All right, Andrew's got us in the Forbidden Forest, which is where the Dark Arts Battle Arena is, which is part of the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe Edition.
Which
I love the way
believe I
that the
have.
Dark Arts Battle Arena is actually part of the
Ordered.
world. It's integrated into the world, so your experience is more immersive than just choosing an option
quite dark.
from the
won't
main
lie.
menu of the game or
Barely
something
see
like
what's
that.
going on.
Reason to go to the Forbidden Forest.
Exactly. There are many reasons to go to the Forbidden Forest, but he's also wearing the Dark Arts cosmetic set.
Ooh.
And
Can't see it honestly,
he's
but
pulling
I
out
believe
the
you.
Thestral, which is
Oh my god.
part of that Dark Arts pack from the Deluxe and Digital Deluxe edition. So we're going full Dark Arts here.
That's good. That's
They're really pushing it, aren't they? The deluxe
But I
edition.
like this battle arena. It is a great place to show off
Very dark though.
really combat in a big way because it unlocks some interesting abilities for you and allows you to really play
Those
around with
mushrooms.
combat in a deep way.
And is this like the only arena like this in the game where you can like practice? And
Yeah,
do-
so in the base game we have 2 combat arenas normally,
Okay,
and
this
so
is like
everyone
the
has
third one.
access to those. And each of the combat arenas are an opportunity to kind of just go through a difficult combat challenge, fight through multiple waves, in order to earn a different cosmetic for your character and add that to your collection. In the case of that's no different than the Dark Arts Battle Arena. That's also true, the combat arena. But one of the things that we're excited about in the Dark Arts Battle Arena that people can do is you come in preloaded with different abilities. So the Unforgivable curses are something that everyone's going to have access to through the base game and going to be able to earn,
Oh.
and they can make choices in order to
No
kind of like add that
peeking,
to their
why?
repertoire, and they can also commit to that down with certain
Blurred
talents
it.
and things like that. When you play the Dark Arts Combat Arena, you actually have access to all those
Why would
things
they hide it?
as kind of like a way to test them all.
Hmm.
And so it's a chance to kind of like tour and play with the Dark Arts and decide whether or not that is a path that you kind of want to go down. But yeah, everyone has the same ability to explore the Dark Arts. This is just kind of like a way of previewing.
I guess if
And again,
you're
a great
part of
place for
Slytherin,
us to show off combat
might be
in
more
general.
tempted.
So I think we're gonna jump in
Alright,
here
wave
and
one.
just gonna start battling, and we can start talking about everything you're
you've
seeing
got a few
on the
things
screen.
to throw at them as well.
Oh, they just about the cadavers right away. Oh my god.
Wow.
We're starting off strong.
Oh my god.
Starting off strong.
Was that Kujio? Oh my god. That's so cool.
Yeah, so that you'll notice right away, like when we used Avada Kedavra, that guy's health bar went from instant to 0, and we really are trying to honor the way Avada Kedavra works in the game, even in some pretty extreme situations. you'll notice that like the meter takes up a
Instant
lot
kill, basically.
longer to
Yeah, a little
kind of
cooldown.
build up as a way to kind of deal with its extreme power, just so that it's still fun to use. And then there's some ways that we'll probably talk about to.
So these are level
to
18
adjust that.
scouts.
But I don't know. I don't know if there are things on the screen that you
Seem
just have
pretty strong,
questions
don't
about.
we?
Like I see like little blue things pop up from
Yeah.
the enemies. Also, before like that sign, well, it's like so
Behind
in
you.
the community we call it the ancient magic sign. I don't know if that's how it's called
Yeah.
in the game.
So the community is astute. So on the development
That
side
is
and
deadly, isn't it?
player facing the game, we've
Gonna be
referenced that
useful.
as your ancient magic meter.
Oh, so it is ancient.
The dark
magic.
arts
That is,
are going to
yeah.
be
So
very
as
tempting,
your
aren't they?
as your abilities in the game keep growing and you become exposed to some of the secrets about your own kind of mystery and your own abilities, you start unlocking new powers. So one of those powers, you'll see the R1 button appearing throughout the game.
R1, okay.
That's an ancient magic throw, we call it, that allows you to kind of like draw an object to you and fling it at an enemy.
Okay.
But whenever you see the R1 or the L1 plus R1 appear over somebody's head, that's an ability to cast a very devastating and powerful ancient magic spell
Oh,
to do a
that-
ton of damage against a character.
I see.
And the way that manifests itself depends on the type of enemy that you're fighting. And you'll see a wide variety of enemies in here that are pressuring the player in different ways. You'll notice there's abilities that kind of bubble up under the player as he's
I
fighting.
think they've done a good job with the
That's
magic so
move.
far, from what I've
And
seen.
There's different ways
It's
that we
tricky
want the player
to
move around on the battlefield.
get a balance
And that's actually a good
with the
link
spells,
to the ancient magic meter in general. And the reason why I
with
say
the
that
enemies
is
as
because
well. I think they've done a
as
pretty
you're
good
doing
job.
different things in combat, you're Fortegoing and you're doing different abilities and you can kind of spec into it with your talents. There's
It's
different
a
ways
hard
to
thing
get
to
that meter
nail.
to build faster
It's not
and faster.
standard
And one of
combat,
the most
standard
effective
melee
base
combat.
ways to build up that meter fast,
it's
that way you
different.
can launch these devastating attacks
More
whenever you
rangy.
want to, is to actually perform combos. So you see that combo appearing, and it's almost like your emotions are building.
got
and
dodge,
then
you got a
basically that
shield
builds
as
up enough
well.
that you can attack someone. But as the combo meter builds up, at some point you strike someone
enemy
and
count,
a
and
piece
it is
of their
timing you
magic
as
kind of
well.
falls out of them. You'll see the blue orbs in the game world, and there's something that only you can see in the narrative, in the world. And it's another reason to move around on the battlefield. If you can
The
go
X
up and
cards.
collect those things, suck them in, they give big jumps to that ancient magic meter as we're playing.
We're talking a lot about spells and magic here, but I think there's another huge component of combat, and that is the tools that you can bring to combat as well to kind of change the way you play. And I think Mackenzie knows a lot about what's going on with the plants and potions.
And so the tools are really interesting because they're basically like a prior investment. So you can bring the potions and the plants that you
So
grow
that's
in the
the
room of requirement
bottom
to
left-hand corner
combat
next to
to
the map.
essentially kind of help you defeat enemies a lot quicker and more efficiently. So some of the
So you've
tools that
been
you'll
hit,
see
yeah, you've been
here
hit a tiny
are like
bit.
the rock skin potion. So that is something that basically covers your skin in this like rocky material that
Oh boy,
reduces
a
the
mountain
incoming
troll.
damage that
What?
you're receiving. So against big enemies, hard-hitting enemies like trolls,
Hit with his own boulders.
that's super
That's going to be
helpful.
interesting.
Oh my god, he's just destroying. The troll
Instant
just
kill.
collapsed.
Yeah, the dark arts are tempting
obviously, we have
indeed.
the Wiggenweld potion as well, which increases your health. And then we have the focus potion. So when Alan talks about
So tempting,
having to
isn't it?
balance Avada Kedavra with a long cooldown, because obviously it's an instant kill, one thing that you could do is brew a focus potion, and that will increase how quickly.
Oh yeah, look at it,
your-
comes back
your
quicker.
cooldowns,
It comes back a
regain.
lot quicker. So that's R2
So
and
much,
then
like, versatility,
circle, I
like
think?
what the character is doing to the troll right now. Like he's just bouncing around
we could just kill
around
it,
the
yeah.
arena. He's like not.
wow.
And the troll makes him move around.
That is
too.
so
Like,
tempting.
And I love that our
Does it make the
plants
game a bit easy?
Yes, and so that's like when we're talking about the
Maybe? I don't
almost
know.
the setup of the arena. You also have plants that you can fight with, and so we have things like the venomous tentacula that you can put down, and it acts like a turret, and it just kind of shoots enemies around the battlefield.
That is so cool. This is like a truly like Hufflepuff.
I might be
adventure,
tempted
bro.
if I play the game
The battle.
to not go to the dark
No, that
side.
was super important to us. So there were these like multiple ways.
'Cause
And so
that-
you
I
can
don't
see
know.
there's a ton of different things
So
you can
powerful.
use. The mandrake is one, so you can pull it out and it stuns with its like piercing cry these enemies in a radius.
And another thing I want to call out that we're seeing on the side of the screen here is these dueling feats, which I love because I love anything that prompts me to play a game in a different way, a unique
Yeah,
way. I
I
don't want to
like
get stuck in my style, you know. And
dueling
so this is
combo.
a way to, if you want to get stuck in your style, go for it. If you just want to blast people with spells, go for it. But we also want to have some things over here that may make you use
I felt
certain
that.
plants or
Could
certain
hear it.
potions or
Dum.
block more or
Yeah, we mentioned the field guide challenges in the prior stream, and the field guide challenges, this is the way that the field guide manifests like challenges for you to do in combat. And exactly to your point, we just wanted a way to encourage players to explore the different systems, to help them decide, to just kind of practice with them and explore what they want to do, because there really are so many different ways that you can push talents. When you see the green X's on characters,
right.
and that's kind of through your talents you can unlock this kind of cursing mechanic that sort of like
It was a
links the
curse, I knew it
fates
was.
of these different
I
characters
guess
on the
it was anyway.
battlefield. That way, as you get as you're cursing different characters, they all begin sharing damage, and so we have things like Avada Kedavra, which is the insta-kill, but if you curse everyone before you insta-kill this one guy, they can all drop dead for that kind of ultimate Voldemort fantasy.
Man, wow.
And so,
Oh my god.
there are dark arts fantasies. There's fantasies about being more of a defense against the dark arts characters, things like that misty step that you see occasionally being used on the battlefield. And we can also spec into our potions and plants to make them more powerful and more efficacious. So it's all about which type of player you feel like you are and whether or not you want to play with prep on the fly or with deliberation, and those are all different options.
That is so cool because like it's like I see
Combo
so
we did
much
on
like,
that guy.
going on the stream, just so much complexity, and I want to just try it
Good
myself,
job.
like which style works
Damn.
best. I mean, I feel like it's the dark arts is going to be the easiest route, but
You're
that
our
ancient
audience.
magic, to be honest, feels like much more powerful than just the dark arts.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And speaking of plants and potions, we're going to be putting the dark arts away, put those unforgivable curses away,
Oh no.
and heading to the Room of Requirement, which is your home within Hogwarts, a personalizable space that actually has some utility as well, where you get to brew things and grow things and also care for some beasts.
It's a resolution job.
Right, Andrew's got us
No,
in
sorry,
the
just the
Room of
camera.
Requirement, wearing, we kind of went casual mode on the outfit here, wearing a nice
Very
jumper.
cash.
And I think that's a good jumping off point
Is that my owl as well?
for the personalization of the space as well. Not just your character and the visuals of your character, but actually this space is a place that you can make your own.
Yeah, it was super important to us
Like
that
your
this
home in the
space
game,
really did feel like
basically.
your reflection as a wizard. So you can change the architecture in here.
What?
Different themes throughout,
like,
starkly
what?
different themes, to really just hammer home that this is yours. You
Oh
can
my
change-
god, what? This is beautiful. We
That's
never
pretty cool.
expected that to be. Oh my god.
You changed the whole ceiling basically.
That's the thing is not only can you change the architecture
Wow,
here, but you can
actual
actually
structure.
conjure little objects into this space, as you can see. So there's like statues that you can do, and ornaments, and tables, and
A
rugs,
rug.
and just a bunch of little things that really flesh out the space
Sims.
and bring it to life.
Oh my goodness, because like we had an idea that those places where you brew stuff, that's where you can change, but you can do all of this. Where do you even get this stuff? Like there's a furniture store?
Yeah, so we call them conjurations. And the conjuration recipes can be purchased at Tomes and Scrolls in Hogsmeade. But also as you engage in different types of gameplay throughout the world, you'll be rewarded with different objects.
That's so cool. And you change color?
You can change the color, you can change the size of it, and you can place
Make
it
it really
basically
tiny.
anywhere.
Oh my
Tiny
God, it's
people.
so tiny. It's like for Baby Niffler.
And I love how the system too is designed. It's not mechanical; it's immersive, and so you get the magical effect of conjuring it in, and you're actually doing this in the world as your character. But the way you've blended like that gameplay with the immersive design of personalizing the
Oh my
space.
God,
Detail you
like,
can
and
put
I love
in.
the animation, how it like appears, you know, like it's not just like there, it's like almost like it,
So every element you
It
can
is
move.
really quite beautiful, and that was the thing is we wanted that to look really nice because the magic in the wizarding world is everywhere. It's physical, it's kinetic, and it's whimsical. We really wanted to nail that whimsy in this space. Another thing that I wanted to discuss is that not only can you like conjure things and you can change their
plant
look,
things.
but you can do that with the utility objects as well. So you can see that we have planting pots and potion stations, and you can change the look of those as well.
grubby.
And these are the areas where, as we had
the
mentioned
colour.
previously, you'll be growing your plants, you'll be brewing your potions.
right,
So
right,
good.
Right.
So while you're also doing these like kind of nurturing based activities, this is also the space where you would bring your gear to be identified and gear to have like rates put on it, which I believe Alan can talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, we keep bringing up appearance and how it looks, and on in the game, you can look like anything you want to
Looms
whenever
well.
you want to. But the player will be finding different types of gear, that we call it, as you progress through the game. And essentially, we just know that clothes and different items in the wizarding world can have different magical properties. And as you explore and as you adventure and as you defeat enemies, you're going to be finding different pieces of gear that have different abilities, and that can help you in your journey and are a major part of you kind of growing as a wizard and advancing as a wizard. And so
There's a huge list.
and not all the time, whenever you get a new piece of gear, you don't necessarily know exactly what it does. And so there is a station inside of the Room of Requirement that you can conjure. It's one of the first things you conjure, called an identification station, where you can actually bring that gear that you're uncertain
up what
about
the gear
and learn
does,
what its abilities
what's its
are.
traits,
Right,
what's its
yeah, that's so
benefits.
cool.
And then as the space advances even further, and the space will eventually grow its own rooms, and you're going to get new recipes, like Mackenzie's talking about, all these different things keep expanding. And as it expands, eventually you're going to earn what we see here, which is called a loom. And when you set up a loom, it's an ability to essentially
traits
customize
to-
exactly which magical properties are on your gear, and take any piece of gear and adjust its properties and to tweak what it does. And I mentioned earlier that you can make anything look like anything. The collection of appearances, we call it, or cosmetics, we've been referring to it in
Right.
this stream. Those types of things you can use, and you can apply a look to any other look. So if you get a piece of gear, you put it on, you look like that, but you can change it to look like whatever you want.
That's so cool. And like you can just put some ability to this sweater, but then you can just swap
Yeah.
that ability.
Yep, and appearances you can edit whenever you want in the gear screen. The loom is specifically about applying traits and applying larger upgrades that just kind of grant you greater statistical advantage, or give you really specific abilities that blend in nicely with where you're trying to go with your combat fantasy or talents and things like that.
Interesting. I'm just seeing that they're just like pumpkin fur, mooncalf fur. Where does that come from?
Yeah, and so you'll notice that the ingredients that are used to add traits and to upgrade your gear are based around beasts. So this is where we get into the beast care section, which is inside this vivarium. Kind of bigger space on the inside
What?
idea. And so you can see here we have a couple of beasts out. We have a graphorn and a mooncalf and a niffler and a neasel as well. So
Oh my
quite a
God.
variety.
Look at the little
Oh
moon
my
cat.
God, he's just like a big puppy.
They're so
cuddling. Oh my God, they're together. Oh, that's so cute.
They're adorable. And so part of beast care is petting them as well, but feeding them too. And so once you do those things, that's when they feel safe enough that they'll give you their magical ingredients. So mooncalf fur,
What?
niffler fur, etc. That can then
You
be
feed
used
them and they give you the
That
resources
is
back.
like so like intuitive, because like that makes sense, because when you touch the animals, you get some fur leftovers. That's so. Oh my God.
Yeah, and we really want to hammer home the fact that this is like a home that you're making for them. So in the overland, you can find these beast dens and rescue these beasts. Part of doing so is brushing them and feeding them food as well, and to build that relationship with your beasts. In addition to be able to care for beasts, you can actually conjure things in this space as well.
The house, the cottage.
Yeah, right. And so we
I
have
just
like
put
a
that
lot of
cottage
little
there, apparently?
ornaments in this
Serious?
area, and a lot of them are purely cosmetic, but they look really cool. Again, it's the personalization of this space.
Oh my goodness. No, this is like, I'm gonna spend 8 hours just designing this whole
Look how
area.
exact yours.
to perfect- this is
Exactly
like
8
cool, like, you
hours
have
on
this little
customization.
play
After that, I'm
area,
done.
Like a personalized fish tank, so to say.
You can go
just for the
absolutely
creatures. I
ham in here,
love
couldn't
it.
you?
Yeah, no, totally. And there's like a decoration aspect, but there's also, we were saying inside as well, is there's a utility aspect to it too. So as you progress in the game and you're able to purchase more
Feeder.
conjurations, you're able to speed up your process. So one of them, for example, is the food processor, which allows for the beast in
Oh,
the
look at the
space to
food.
automatically get feed, so you don't have to do it manually.
Okay, that's good.
And so you're really building the progression for yourself here. In addition, there's also a toy box where you can,
Toy
where you can
box?
play with your beasts. And you'll see here, yeah. So you can, there's bunch of toys in it, and each beast has their own favorite toy. So as you can imagine, the moon calf really likes the moon ball, or the Kneazle, as like a little cat, really likes to chase the yarn ball as well.
Right.
And they're super cute.
Oh my god.
This is going to be
Watching them,
adorable.
it's so cute.
Oh no. Those eyes.
The big thing we really wanted to hammer home is that the world is a dangerous place. And so by going and rescuing these beasts and bringing them back here and caring for them, you're really helping them out. There's poachers in the overland who hunt these beasts for their material. So instead, you're caring for them. You're giving them a home.
It's quite limited. It's quite a small space though. I was going to come out and say it. It's not a big space
Gigantic.
for such a big
Right,
creature.
he looks like my dog. My dog's right now, for sure.
You could actually name them as well. So like your dog.
So getting back into that personalization, you know, yeah, we didn't want you to just like throw in, oh, here's a
Actually
graph line
name
in here.
them
Like,
as well.
this can be named whatever Andrew's about to name them.
Bruce. There you go.
Good name.
Bruce the grabhole.
You know, we've created this really nice space, and you can get additional vivariums, correct? To different kind of aesthetics and looks to where you're keeping your beasts and caring for them.
Progression is a big part of this space as well. So as you progress through the story,
you like
will
my
unlock
bush?
more vivariums. So as you can see, this one's
My
quite
little
meadow
shrub.
themed, big, open, bright. But there's other ones, say like a swamp that you might encounter. And it's really a visual effect and more space for your beast.
Oh, so it's like those. So when we're inside the room requirement, there's like on the left, there's that moon glow from one
Actually,
entrance
put
and
some
then
more trees
some
down.
shrubbery
That must be
going
a
on the
max
right.
to
Is
what I
that
can
you're
put
talking
down.
about?
Yep,
I'd
that's
imagine.
exactly it.
At some point.
Oh, you put trees in here too. Oh my goodness.
As well as the game.
And another thing with the beast care that I
potentially
think
just crash.
is great,
potentially.
you know, tying back
Normally
to
there's a
the
limit to
same
this sort
kind
of
of thing
building
that you did
mechanic.
with like the broom, where the broom is not just a method of travel; it's actually built in and integrated into the world. In the same way, like beast care isn't just this added element. You're not just throwing it on top. There's really this like narrative and integration to
Yeah, everything
Everything.
connects. So as you progress through the missions, you'll expand this
What's that?
space. As you earn resources, you'll go into Hogsmeade and use them to unlock the gameplay here and unlock new conjurations and different things to play around with. In the open world, it's in those different
Statues.
environments, like the different combat and
that's
conflicts
big.
and bandit camps and different things like that exist in the overland. Those things are what hold recipes that exist in the loom. So all these
So
things
you're
have
a
a
pretty
way of
powerful
connecting.
wizard, aren't
Moonstone that you find out in the
Very,
world is the resource that we use to
very
conjure
powerful.
everything. That's found throughout the world. Forgeables. are
serious
used for
history
recipes.
behind you, that's
so
for
really
sure.
everything's like a cycle and keeps you coming back.
But even with the story that's being told too, I think people know who Poppy is and that she has a particular affinity for beasts.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we're seeing here, you're going to be venturing out into the world, and this is just kind of the tip of the iceberg, even of kind of like your interactions with beasts in that narrative. So, you bringing up Poppy, there are more kind of mysteries to discover and things to discover out in the world that have to do with her and that have to do with caring for beasts. And so different characters have their own stuff that just kind of make this all just kind of like the beginning of your journey.
Well, we could spend hours in here, but
We
we're gonna
could.
have to end
That's
the stream
madness.
now.
There's
What
so
do
much to
you think
do.
about what you've seen today?
I mean, I'm just so blown away by how beautiful it looks. The open world seems so detailed, and there's so many things to do. And like the combat, we're gonna spend like 2 weeks or more just breaking it down by pieces. There's just so much to this world. Like I'm so happy you guys did this overall gameplay.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg. We've got more for you to discover and find on your own.
This game.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Hogwarts Legacy is available for pre-order now. It releases February 10th with 72-hour early access for owners of the Collector's, Deluxe, and Digital Deluxe Edition. We're gonna wrap things up, but first we've got a little surprise for you. Bye.
Little surprise? What surprise? Another trailer potentially? Ooh. Is this the principal's office? What is this? Oh, is this another trailer? What? Is a cutscene from the film, maybe? Oh, not the film, sorry. Cutscene from the game? What the? hell just happened there? Okay, maybe that's a hint of where we're going to be going next. So I didn't actually touch on it. There is some bad news about the release dates. Right, so here it is. So this is all about the last generation systems. So if you have a PS4 or Xbox One, the game will not release now until April 4th. So it's a bit of a delay. If you have a PS5, Xbox Series X and S, you can play it on the 7th or 10th of February. Also, the Switch, they've announced, is coming out on the 25th of July of 2023. Can't speak properly today for some reason. But yeah, there is a delay on the last gen systems, which is a bit unfortunate. Seeing how big the game is, they're probably just struggling to get it down and get all the mechanics in, working correctly, which is understandable. But yeah, the game is not far away. If you have a PC or current gen system, it's very, 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 very close. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. And yeah, can't wait to see what happens with this game. I love it. It's one of those games where, of course, I'm hoping it's a very, very solid game. It's very, very good. But then I'm hoping there's potential. There's more. That it does really well that they do a sequel and they can put more into it, more money into it, more people working on it, and really sort of push the boat out. Anyway, see you guys soon, and bye-byes.